Hello Buddy Fighters and welcome to another episode of This Week in Buddyfight. Advance apologies for the background noise as there are quite a lot of birds chirping outside. It's a bright and sunny day but we are all still stuck inside, but let's get on with today's show. Well, it has been a slow week this week, but let's try to end it on a high note. We are just pushing out the short stories on the official website. There have been 3 new updates since our show last week, and you can find stories number 7, 8 and 9 on the webpage. Do take note that some stories have no actual buddy fights in them, and they just show some of the scenes behind some of the named monsters. Now, let's head on over to the Buddy Votes corner. A big thanks to all the buddy fighters who took part in the polls, and this is a great way to find out exactly what you guys like about the series as well as the card game. The poll last week was your favorite buddy for Gao out of a total of 6 choices. Now hold on, some of you were wondering why there were 6 choices. We all know about Drum, Bal and Butts, but there were times when Gao actually had temporary buddies, and we counted those too. To find out more, feel free to watch the past series, all available on the official Buddyfight YouTube channel. Without further ado, the top 3 buddies for Gao are... At 3rd place, Bao Dragon, and most of the fans will also know him as Bao Soleo in later episodes of the anime series. Which form did you guys prefer, the cuter SD version or the ones in actual fights? Maybe we can revisit this topic again in a later poll. At 2nd place, Drum Bunker Dragon, or if you prefer his full name, Drum Bunker Dragon Fang Slate Terrestrial the 14th. He was with Gao when he started his buddy fight adventures and was stuck with him for quite a while. And our audience's favorite buddy for Gao is, drumroll please, Demon Lord Dragon Butts, or rather, Bao Butts Drago Royal the First. The latest buddy to join Gao on his adventures, and in the Ace series we find that they are still going on adventures together. That's why the focus shifted to Gao's son Yuga. For this week's poll, feel free to let us know which antagonist is your favorite across the world of Buddy Fight. There have been some memorable villains who went up against the main characters, and now is your chance to tell us who your favorite is. One of them would surely have left a bigger impression on you than the rest, so head on down to the polls to cast your vote. Links to the poll can be found in the description below and of course on our official website. Now go cast your vote and join us on the show next week for the results. For this week's Buddy Pointers, we head on to the great news for players anticipating the new product releases. We finally have a shipping date arranged for SUB05 Buddy Again Volume 2 Super Buddy Wars EX. So for this week, let's take a look at some tips and pointers before heading out to the stores during the COVID-19 pandemic. Do take note that these are general tips and pointers and may vary from the specific instructions provided by your local state or governments. Those will of course take precedence over what is discussed here. Now, the very first point, call in advance. This is important as you do not know if your local store has received their stocks already, or if the store is up and running at all during this COVID-19 period. Would really help if the store has a local website or social media that you can check too. If they are indeed open for business, a good idea would be to check if they have any delivery services available. Again, depends on the area you live in, the delivery options may vary. So, you have checked and your local store is indeed open for business. What next, you may ask? Well, here comes the important part. If your area is under lockdown or non-essential travel is restricted, do not leave the house at all. Instead, find out if the store can keep the stocks for you until the restrictions are lifted, or again if any delivery is available at all. If you can leave the house, do remember to wear a mask and avoid any crowds by practicing good social distancing. If there are any situations where you think that you might be too close to another person, you probably are. Now that you have gotten your stuff and safely home, do remember to wash your hands thoroughly or take a nice cool shower if you want to. Finally, you are now prepared to open your loot in the safety of your own home. Oh, before I forget, another key point if you're heading out to get anything is to avoid meeting your friends. I know, it sounds a little antisocial, but it's best during this critical period. Avoid making plans to meet up, and if you do bump into friends outside, keep a safe distance from one another. Do not hang around for too long. There are various chat applications to use when you're safely back home, like Bushiroad Remote Fight's Discord server for instance. Details are available on the official web pages. And that's all we have for this week in Buddyfight. Do remember to join us again next week for more information as well as the results of the polls mentioned earlier. Now, during this period, do practice safe distancing, stay safe, stay home, and we'll see you next week. Bye!